Hi, Alexi and Ryan. My name is Beth Forster, and I live here in Denver, Colorado. I recently moved from Lexington, Kentucky, and I came here for a job offer with Social Security Administration. And I have been enjoying working with the public and people and helping as many folks as I can. I have also enjoyed exploring Colorado, exploring all the different paved bike trails here in town, and also the gravel trails and the hiking trails out in the surrounding area. Um, I am an artist, and my most recent project was called the Lend Me a Hand Project, where I was casting people's hands in a way to show love, care, and support to another person. And the point of the project was suicide prevention and community. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic and the nature of the work working in such close proximity, that project has been put on hold. But I'm hoping eventually to resume that project and be able to show people what we can do together. And for now, I'm working and riding my bike and loving my dog. The Leadville 100 mountain bike race is a way for me to get back into the things I love. I ran cross country and track in college and a few Chicago marathons after that. I absolutely love that community of being there for each other during endurance events. I I've been looking into gravel racing and mountain biking, and I've heard about this race even way back when I lived in the Chicago suburbs. I heard about the 100-mile ultra and ultra marathons specifically, and then researching them, it actually led me to the ultra of all ultras, Leadville. And completing this race, this Leadville, has become a bucket list item. When I heard your opportunity asking to apply for the average cyclist, I knew I absolutely had to contact you and throw my hat in the ring. I'm very excited about taking on this challenge and really getting back into biking with intent and pushing myself further than I've ever pushed before while following a training plan. Um, my longest ride in the last few years has been 30 miles, and geez, that was tough. I have no idea how to ride 100 miles. I have no idea how to ride a bike in a race. Um, what I personally do is I ride my bike and I go have coffee at a park with my friends. That's so different than riding a race. I literally have no idea how to ride it, but Leadville, it's this dream. It's this thing that I've always thought about as a maybe someday. And I've never actually thought it could possibly be my first long distance race, my first century event, but I am beyond excited for this opportunity. And there's so many questions like, how is the training going to work? Like, am I going to be able to hit those marks, like the time frame to get into Leadville, to hit each one, to continue? Am I going to be able to finish and actually have that beautiful shiny belt buckle, as an achievement, for this opportunity? Like Leadville, it's the ultra of all ultras. And the thing about this race, like having such a large goal, it changes your complete life. Like each day, instead of just kind of going humdum, I'm going to work, having my dinner, going to bed, you have to plan. And without a plan, you're not going to succeed. So it's a series of mini goals, all leading up and culminating in the race day, the Leadville 100. And I'm ready for that. I'm excited to say I'm ready for that commitment. I'm ready to change my life, my mindset. I'm ready for my first century. I'm ready for Leadville. Cycling and getting into mountain biking is intimidating. Now, I'm not the most in shape person out there. I definitely don't look like a typical cyclist. Um, and it can be absolutely intimidating to step into a space where no one looks like you. Like, I can feel a little bit judged in those spaces. However, I do feel like I'm an athlete. I ride my bike. I also go on long distance backpacking events where I carry my backpack and all my gear, and I know I have the endurance to be a cyclist. In Lexington, I wasn't really always sure where to go riding. Now, it becomes very rural very quickly, and I wasn't sure where the safest routes would be. So I looked into riding with the group, And I found that two things. One, they ask riders to hold a certain pace, and two, the minimum ride is 30 miles. 30 miles. That's the longest I've ever ridden my bike by myself. So obviously, it was not quite at my skill level to join those groups. Um, Moreover, mountain biking intimidates me because of the technical skill involved. Now, I did buy a mountain bike this last year, and I decided to take it up to Illinois thinking, hey, the terrain's a little flatter. It's a great introduction to mountain biking specifically. And I ended up going over the handlebars and then somehow coming backwards. I broke the saddle. Yeah, the saddle. No idea on the physics, but it happened. And clearly, um, I have went from being an overconfident rider to one that is more cautious, and there's also a mental barrier preventing me from becoming a better rider, specifically with mountain biking. Now, to counteract that, I've decided that this coming riding season, I am going to sign up for two separate mountain bike clinics to work on my handling skills and rebuild that confidence. Now, I've always believed that it's the absolute best to take something that scares you head on and just dive on in and make it happen. And for instance, I played soccer in high school. My senior year, I decided I was joining the cross country team in order to become a better soccer player, which I did. Now, in college, I decided I was not going to play soccer. I ended up falling in love in cross country and the long distance endurance sport and racing. And I decided I was going to walk on to my college team, and I walked on for both cross country and track. And I went from being the slowest runner, like literally in cross country, the ATV on the cross country course followed me for more than one race, I would like to admit, up there in Wisconsin, and I was the dead last finisher, but I finished. And I went from that runner to being the captain of my team and placing at track nationals in the 5K and the 10K. And I can't wait to apply that tenacity to cycling. I'm not afraid of finishing last. I'm afraid of never trying. Being entered in the Leadville 100 mountain bike race would be absolutely life changing for anyone lucky enough to be selected, and I would be thrilled if that person could be me. I have already decided I would dedicate my training and the race itself to my fiance. She is a disabled veteran. She operated burn pits in Iraq, and subsequently, she has a lot of lung damage. And unfortunately, a race such as this would never really be possible for her. It's just an unfortunate side effect of the work that she did over there. And we love exploring the outdoors together. We purchased an e-bike for her so that she could ride with me without the risk of passing out due to the lack of oxygen. She is my reason to dream big, and she has always been the most supportive and loving person out there, even on the days that her disability is really affecting her. She is someone that I will say I have a barrier, and she finds ways around that barrier in order to support me getting to those dreams. And I would absolutely love this opportunity to help both of us experience Leadville in this capacity. Now, on a personal level, being selected would absolutely be a dream come true for me. This would help me fulfill a bucket list in a way bigger than I initially ever felt possible. I've always dreamed of doing a 100-mile race, but it could be Leadville. And that's just amazing and blows my mind. And I would absolutely love to have that community and endurance events again. Like, that is the thing that I miss most from the pre-pandemic life, is that community of people going after something bigger than themselves. And bikes have a way of building that community, just by being on a ride, just by enjoying that endurance activity together. And being selected to race the Leadville, it would give me a bigger purpose than what I have right now. Like, for so long, my purpose has just been to survive. to finish college with a learning disability, to have stable housing, to have a stable food source, and then to find a job. And this opportunity, this chance at racing Leadville, I feel like it's allowed me to dream again of having that bigger purpose. Like, like I've prevented myself from dreaming and seeing what was possible. I've forgotten that part of myself. And receiving this opportunity would reignite that fire and change the trajectory of my current life for the better. So, lastly, Ryan, Alexi, I really just want to say thank you for this opportunity, for your time, for your consideration, and really just inspiring the average person into seeing what's possible again. And I really hope to see you in the future, but here's to Leadville 2022.